webinar, a healing webinar, right? Healing for battered women. So today we're going to discover tools and strategy on how to regain your confidence back. Yeah. Okay. I want you to share the link with your friends, share the link with whoever you think needs to be here. Share the link, share the link. All right, so while you're at that, I'm going to be introducing our host for today in the person of Olufunke Ige. And before she comes up, I'll read her bio. All right, kindly listen. Hope you can still hear me.
Yes, please, you can.
You can hear me, right? Okay. Olufunke is a principal consultant at the Reconciler Company. She is certified in conflict management and resolution and functions in this capacity as a transformational life and family coach, emotional intelligence practitioner, author, teacher, counselor, and therapist. She founded the Reconciler Company, saddled with the responsibility of reconciling corporate and family relationships. Having experienced firsthand the consequences of a separated home, Olufunke and her siblings, as teenagers, set out on a journey to reconciliation with their parents. Her parents being their first success story, birthed in her a desire to replicate this joy of reconciliation in other families. She has since then had opportunities to reconcile families, even as the fellowship pastor at the university, and has continued till now. Through the years, she has become the light in restructuring and refining the true meaning of family and living by the very words, love like you mean it. She has over 18 years of experience, and in 2018 alone, she has reached about 1,000 families across the globe using both physical and virtual platforms. She believes that mindset reengineering is the number one tool to achieving reconciliation. She's a mentor of mentors. She mentors formally through a mentoring platform. Oh, PQC, me, please. Okay, I'm sorry for that. So I said she mentors formally through a mentoring platform, the Olufunke Mentorship Tribe, where destinies have been redirected using mindset for engineering as a tool to drive desired total life change in her mentees. She moved on to replicate same in their sphere of relationship. She is the founder and president of ESTEEM, Olufunke Tolulokwege Ministry, a ministry saddled to reignite personal spiritual altars and spreading the fragrance of Christ everywhere in every way to everyone. She has authored 2 books, Sex and Spirituality and Emotional Makeover, among several articles. Olufunke also serves on the board of directors of NGOs, churches, and corporate organizations. She is one of the pioneer members of the Nigerian National Children Parliament, the first president of the Ekiti State Girls Brigade Nigeria through 1999 to 2003. She interned at the DSI unit of United Nations Information Center, Ikoyi, Lagos. She holds a diploma degree from the prestigious Rema Bible Training College. She's a member of Rema Alumni Association. She and her husband, architect Tolulokwege, are the lead pastors at Grace Family of the Fountain of Life Church, Lagos. She is a mother to as many as God has called her to raise. Welcome with me today, Olufunke Ige. You're welcome,
Thank you so much. Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome,
I'm excited to hear this, and I'm excited to be here at such a time as this because this is what I live for, right? And this is why the Reconciler Company exists. We exist basically to restore peace, to restore hope, and to restore as many people as possible to their happy state that they should be, their natural, happy, loving, positive minded state that they should be in. And I want to formally welcome everyone to this wonderful program. Uh, for anyone that is experiencing battery or experiencing domestic violence in home, this is the reason why we are here today. And it's just going to be a journey of 30 minutes. And obviously, we've spent like 7 minutes out of that 30 minutes. So, please, I want you to stay close. I will try as much as possible to give you solid information that is needed for any battered woman or anyone that you know that is going through it and how they can get help. The thing is, even if you're battered, you should not remain battered, right? You should not remain battered. There is room for healing. There is hope for healing. There is hope for restoration. There is hope for reconciliation. There is hope for peace. There is hope for joy. There is hope for happiness. There is hope for you to still be who you are meant to be. There is hope where you should not lose yourself or lose who you are, lose your essence. There is hope in all ramifications in doing this. So I look forward, right, to your testimony, to your feedback, positive feedback, to your transformed life, even after this event, this evening. Um, I know through my journey, through my work, basically, through my work, I have experienced seeing firsthand as many people as possible that find it difficult to get back to their original state or to their former state or who they used to be before the experience of battery, before the experience of the breakdown, the emotional breakdown, the psychological breakdown, the all the breakdowns that you can talk about that anyone can experience when it comes to even health breakdown occurs when people to go through either verbal abuse, sexual abuse, domestic violence, in any ramification, whatever it is that anyone has to experience that makes them feel less of themselves is what I will personally term battery, but more importantly, with an intimate partner, which is usually uh, a spouse or someone they're intending to get married to, or someone they're in intimate relationship with. Um, even as close as romantic relationship. So this is what I want to quickly talk about. If you look at what the battered woman, it's a syndrome. Some would say battered woman syndrome, right? Some will talk about the fact that it could be with post-traumatic stress, right? Depression, in domestic violence, just in so many ways. How people can survive this, how people can get healed from this hurt. Uh, when people still experience low self-esteem after the incident or the occurrence of violence that has been done to them, it shows they are still hurting. They are fighting uh, to get healed and really to get back to who they used to be. They do not even understand, they can't even articulate or bring together or comprehend how they are feeling, how they should even feel. They do not know how they want to feel. They might not even be able to explain it, but there is just that place where they wish what happened can be undone, can be undone. All right. Women who are victims of intimate partner violence, they have been identified, all right, uh, by the mental health field, all right, for more of this, or even more of this experience one way or the other. So it's usually termed that way. I would quickly go into what it might really be. It's a highly variable symptom complex of physical and psychological injuries physical, when I mentioned domestic violence, and when I mentioned battery, exchanging blows or really beating one way or the other, people experiencing that uh, cause physical damage. Imagine hitting a woman. Some, you see them with their eyes swollen, their head swollen, their head has been hit on the wall. They've experienced all this, even in marriage, right? In relationship, and they can't even talk about it. Sometimes it's because of the physical evidence that then you would say, oh, you have gone through this or you are going through this. They can't talk about it because of stigma, discrimination, and even the low self-esteem that probably they might have been feeling. So what am I talking about here is that it's a symptoms in complex, it's very complex, uh, evident physically, it could be evident psychologically. Psychologically, in the sense that you would know that this is not this normal person, this is not how this person relates, this person is no longer jovial the way they should be. That's what I'm talking about, being evidence. I mean, the evidence of psychological effect. So the physical effect is what you can actually see, right? You can see that, and it's been exhibited by a woman repeatedly that has been abused. Sometimes a woman is very strong to the extent that maybe the first time you just try to show it off. Some, that first time it will take a long time to go through it, but by the time it's happening second, third, it looks as if they have developed a thick, it will look as if they have developed a thick skin for it, right? It looks as if they developed a thick skin for this kind of thing. So they are likely to want to just always manage it, always want to cover up, always just do not want to show up, or let any other person know. Most of the time, because the abuser apologized, right? The abuser apologized, the abuser pleaded, I'm sorry, this is not going to happen. I'm sorry, I'll never do this again, one way or the other. All this is just seem to be what they are likely to make, what is likely to make them quiet. But that has not said that they are okay with it, or they are healed already, or they can move on easily with their life. No, that is not to say that. So battered women struggle. It is a struggle that they do not know how to bring together. It is a struggle that they might not be able to share with any other person. It is a struggle that they might not be able to to have a conversation within themselves in this regard. So it's a syndrome, and it's also a form of trauma. So when you say that you're traumatic, sometimes it might be that, especially for married women or even single ladies, some have been abused repeatedly before they decided to take a bold step. Listen to that word in capital letter, in case you're trying to visualize what I'm saying. Boldness to leave an abusive relationship, not even marriage here, right? Sometimes because they've dealt with low self-esteem so much that they feel that the best they can ever have is that particular abusive relationship. And sometimes they even think they deserve it. It's really very, very painful. So I'm sure maybe if you are listening right now, I'm sure sometimes you might even think, yeah, I think I remember a lady, she's been abused, and I told her to even leave the relationship. Instead of her to leave the relationship, she even told the guy, and she and the guy, I became they have to say that I'm their enemy. I don't like their relationship, or I'm jealous. They misinterpreted, or she misinterpreted it, and that's why I just had to leave her to her. But I know she's being beaten, she's being battered, she's struggling, and that. I don't know why she can't even see it. I don't know why, because when people go through psychological effects of battery, dealing with low self-esteem, it is so sad, because they find it difficult to have a clear picture of what exactly they are going through, because they are in it. It's people that are outside that can actually understand a little bit, but they might not even know they're already battling low self-esteem. I've seen people who are so bold with the fact that yeah, I think it's because he loves me. So that brings about misinterpretation of the abuse they are going through, because they are trying to cover up and they are trying to still be bold with whatever it is that they are going through, and then they put it in the corner of, this is just a challenge that I'm going to overcome, that I'm going to go through, and they don't know that there is a solution. Actually, there is a solution. There is a solution to you regaining your self-esteem. There's a solution to you making decisions for yourself, right decisions, right? The good one. There is a solution for you to be able to stand up for yourself. There is a solution for you to be able to seek help. Honestly, one of the ways to regain your low self-esteem, it starts from you knowing that you need help. When you know that you need help, you're already on the journey to regaining your low self-esteem. That is one. Then number two, and then seeking help is another way where you know that you're already on the journey to regaining your low self-esteem. Albeit, you cannot know that you need to regain your low self-esteem if you do not know that whatever it is you're going through, you do not deserve it. So, what are the things that you deserve as a woman? What are the things that should not even come near you as a woman? Verbal abuse should not be part of you, should not be what you would embrace, should not be part of you, should not be your lifestyle, should not be what you would love all the time. Verbal abuse. That is. And let me just talk about that verbal abuse again. Sometimes you think you deserve verbal abuse because you abuse people verbally. Also, you don't just insult, you abuse people. That is abnormal use. You say derogatory words, statements to people into their hearings, and they hear, and this goes into their heart, and it forms a seed, and that gives them a particular perspective about you and about them. So when people begin to think less of themselves anytime they're around you because of what you say to them, then you're part of it. You're part of pulling people's self-esteem, pulling down their defense system. And also because you're doing that, you begin to think it's enough, especially when you think what you have said to the person is right, they deserve it, right? It's something that you should have said. You're always right. So in the end, inversely or directly proportional to you, then when people say that to you, you begin to believe that you deserve those words. You begin to embrace them. Then you let those words do what? Define you, because you are freely defined someone else in a box of abuse, verbal abuse, and you feel it is right. So when they do that to you, you will embrace it and you think it is right. And that is doing you a lot of damage, because you begin to accept it. And then whatever they say about you, you will embrace it. And then you begin to belittle yourself. And when you begin to belittle yourself, that begins to have a psychological effect of you, because you are breaking down your defense system. You are breaking down who you are. You are breaking down what you do. You are breaking down what you stand for. And then you would be, it gets to a state that you can't stand for anything. So that is how verbal abuse works. It works both ways, to someone and then back to you, to someone back to you. So one of the ways to regain your self-esteem, if you have been battered, if you have been battered verbally, if you know that you have been wounded, you're hurting with, with words, that has been spoken to you, first look at yourself. Do you say do you also utter derogatory statements, words to other people? Do you pull them down? Do you pull down their defense system? Do you belittle them with whatever it is that you say to them? So when you are doing this because you believe it is right, then whatever people say to you is right. So address this issue. Begin to stop it. Begin to know that if you do not feel right, if you do not feel good about what people say to you, then when you say same to them, do not expect that they will feel good. Do not expect them to embrace it as a course correction. Some people, they do that and they don't know that they are actually hurting someone else. pulling them down, belittling them, making them feel less of themselves so that they do not attain the full potential, the full shining, the full they do not help them to blossom because you say derogatory statements. Now, who says what matters then again? So when you want to regain your self-esteem, who says what to you is one of the things that matters. Who do you listen to? Who are the people you surround yourself with? If you want to regain your self-esteem, you can't afford to keep surrounding yourself with the same set of people who pulled you down, who helped you to start, I'm using the word helped, or who assisted or who channeled, who helped to propagate your low self-esteem to come to existence, for you to begin to experience low self-esteem. You are not going to keep surrounding yourself with such people. However, those people might not be avoidable 100% because they are intimate people, because they are people whose words matter a lot to you, right? Their words matter a lot to you. So you can't afford to say you just want to do away with them. But how do you still regain your self-esteem even while you're in the midst of them? So one is for those people that are probably far off and you know you can easily do without, you can manage your involvement with them. So then create that gap. All right. Then for those people that you know that you can't exactly let them alone, right? You can't, you might not be able to run away from them 100%. Maybe a spouse, maybe in-laws, maybe your own siblings, right? You are dealing with derogatory words from them, pulling you down 24/7. And because family, right? Family is a place of comfort, is a place, the first place, I call it the first place of defense, the first place of comfort, the first place of teaching, the first place where you find your identity, the first place where you are being celebrated, the first place where you are being pushed and placed on the world stage, the first place where you build your self-esteem. And so if this is the same family that seems to be pulling down your self-esteem wall, your being, your essence, then you might really find it difficult. So when you're in the midst of these family members, how do you still regain your self-esteem? How do you still become who you are supposed to be despite what you are going through or despite what you have been through? Don't forget, I've not even been able to address those who are going through physical abuse or um, or other abuse, right? Except I think I'm just still much more on the verbal abuse. You can still use some of these points, right, for other things. Is that when you are around them, you already know. I want you to take a mental journey of each person, mental journey and a mental picture of what they usually do. Who is this person? Why does this person do this? Why do they do this? Why, how do they really see me? What is the perspective and what is my own perspective of them? Right? Sometimes people pull people down, especially family members, and by the time you even employ confrontation or you just want to have a dialogue, you want to have a conversation, bordering that and saying, oh, hey, I'm worried about this. Why do you do this to me? Why do you say this to me? And all of that. Sometimes they go in a way just in the defense that you really deserve it. No, don't let that lie be told to you. Why? Because everyone find it difficult to come out straight, to really admit their fault or to admit that they are wrong. So don't let that be a yardstick that because you try to engage dialogue and the person still insisted, oh, that, for example, maybe that person calls you a goat and you're a human being. So a human being should not be called a goat, should not be called a pig, should, and then they say, oh, no, I'm just saying it ironically. I just, no, you should not call me an animal. That is devastating. I'm just citing that as an example. Some might even say things that are worse. I don't know what worse is to you. I don't know what bad is to you. But according to your own measurement, to your own perspective, to your own degree, whatever, how you want to view that, Maybe sometimes you say, okay, well, she's just joking. But some that can get to someone else. So you will not allow anyone to sell you a lie that you deserve to be called that, because you are not that. You are a human being. Sometimes you might even think it's a joke, but because it's a word, it rests on your mind. It begins to have a psychological effect on you, but you don't even know. And then you begin to fight it. Sometimes what you fight are even thoughts in your head, thoughts that gets to grow by the negative words from other people. All right. And these are things that even maybe through childhood, people are abused, childhood trauma. Sometimes it's a childhood trauma that you're exhibiting in your marriage. Your childhood trauma, you have seen it as a norm, and then you got into marriage, you got married, and then you call people whatever you feel like, because you feel you joke around about it around. It's not a big deal. It's just a joke. And then the other person you're saying that to, you say, no way, you can't tell me that. You can't say this to me. So how do you really avoid family members that are so close, and then, like I said, use that confrontation? Confrontation might not really work. You might not really get them to speak. They might just come up with that defense, that word of defense. Rather, just try to employ dialogue when you know they're happy and they get to listen. And so, very few people would want to listen to this. Very few people want to embrace the dialogue or even accept that, oh, they were wrong. Especially maybe husband, sister, do you understand? Your brother, somehow. Then, no, you can't. I'm your brother. I can't say anything to you. No, they can't say anything to you because you're human, right? So when they say that, say, why do you think? Ask them questions. So by the time you keep asking questions, well, why do you think that I can't say anything to you? Because of this. Why do you think so? You keep using the word. So the more questions you have, brings them to that place of realizing and knowing that their thought formation about you, or that they think that it was right for them to say those things to you, they begin to see that they were even wrong in the first place. And what they have imbibed has set them on the wrong pedestal of relationship, of relating with other people, spreading verbal poison to people around them. And that if care is not taken, if they keep going on like this, they will likely affect or hinder bringing genuine people, loving people closer to them, because unknowingly they will begin to step on toes that are supposed to be with them, that are supposed to support them, even when things really go wrong for them. So I think I've given you one of the steps to do that. This is just finding, not fully finding why, and asking why your abuser is doing this, right? And it's finding it. But what else do you think you can get? What else do you think you can embrace in healing? I want you to have a me time. All these words, do they really describe me? Deep down in you, you know you are not a god. Take a pen and write it. This is my free gift to you today. Take a pen and write it. I am not a god. That is for verbal abuse. For those that have gone through battery beating and all of that, I would say that avoid as much as possible, right? Anything that is going to hinder you. Avoid as much as possible. Sorry, not anything that's going to, anything that will bring you to a place where you have to be beaten. Be careful with the words of your mouth. Identify when probably your abuser, and you know maybe you don't want to leave the relationship, your abuser is getting angry. Avoid it as much as possible. Try to note what makes them angry and ensure that you seek for help. Go for therapy, go for psychology therapy, go for help. If you have to get a policeman to get that person to sign an undertaking that they can never touch you again, because when you have an assurance, it is also on your journey to healing. And I will encourage that you advise that your abuser goes for therapy as well, because people who tend to abuse have also been abused one way or the other. So they think it is normal. For example, I remember having gone through, instead I could share this, right? Having going through a therapy session and reconciliation with a particular marriage. And the man said that I don't think there is anything wrong with me for me to beat my wife, because my father used to beat my wife, my mother, to correct her. So he grew up, see, he saw that when he grew up, and he thought it was normal. So you would see that there is abusers are also damaged. All right. So I want you to understand. So it's not always about you because you think that you deserve it. No, it's about the abuser. The abuser has been abused. The abuser is hurting. The abuser is not in their right state of mind. So how do you deal with someone that is not in his right state of mind? So avoid them as much as possible. Report to necessary authorities that could help. For example, assurance that this man will never touch me again. Or this woman can never touch me again, and all that. So um I want us to get this together. I think it's 8:30 now, 8:32. So I really, really have to wrap up. But I have a course, full course on how to regain your low self-esteem. This addresses any type of issue, right? So I would encourage you. It's on my page. There is the link. It's going to be, the link will be in the comment section or in the description section of the YouTube. Click the link and go and take the course. It is not free. This particular webinar is free so that you are able to get the necessary tips for you to regain your low self-esteem. As a matter of fact, you might be going through low self-esteem and you don't even know. But this really addresses women that have been battered, that are struggling and are trying to raise their head up high away from this. So it's a happy Mother's Day. It's a special gift from me to you. Mother's Day, September, sorry, I said September, May 12th, 2024. And we're excited from the Reconciler Company to bring this to you. The good news is that no matter how battered you are, you can regain your self-esteem. You can get in touch with the Reconciler Company. Let us help you, take you through that journey of therapy, and even to reconcile that relationship so that your abuser can stop and you can also keep enjoying your marriage. Both of you, you can enjoy your relationship. We are here to serve you and to always serve you good and better. I want to say a very big thank you for joining on this teaching. Do not forget, there is hope, there is healing, and understand that things can be new again. You can be you again. You can raise your head up high. You can be out there without a feeling of guilt or without a feeling that you have to be ashamed or stigma or being discriminated. No, not even in any way. You are normal. As a matter of fact, you are extraordinary. You are beyond normal. You are a woman and you are a wonder. You are a wonder. You are a creation of wonder, and that's who you are, and you are made to shine. So never forget that. That's no amount of battery or emotional abuse or in whatever way, psychological abuse or low self-esteem that you feel, that is enough to keep you down. It is time to raise your head up high. So we're more than willing to have you in our corner so that we are able to help you. We are a company that understand confidentiality. We are a company that understand that you are special and we treat you as such. Every story for the past years, over 18 years that we've been doing this, no story is exactly the same. Why? Because no human being is exactly the same. So you are very unique. We'll encourage you to seek help. And we are with you. You can also click the link to get the full course on how to regain your how to regain your self-esteem. Pardon me. Thank you for joining me this evening, and it's a wonderful gift. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to every mother out there. Thank you for having me. I am Olufunke, the founder of the Reconciler Company. God bless you. Over to you, Oluwaseun. Or is there any information you would love to pass? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so, so much, Ma. I hope we all learned something today. And I would like us to put our feedback on the chat box. What did you learn today? What are you living with today? And remember, that's me time. Remember to have the me time is very essential in the journey of healing. It's very essential. You know those words that was used to describe you, just write them down and ask yourself, do they really describe me? That me time is very, very essential. Thank you so, so much, Ma. Okay, the link to the therapy session is posted on the YouTube chat box. Yes, so you can click the link, and I think that there's sales for one of them. Yeah, so you can get it at a lesser price if you do that between now and that's in 7 days time. Yeah, between now and the next 7 days. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate your presence. And you can listen again um to the session. So we'll post the link again. You can just come back here or go to the Reconciler Company, the YouTube channel, the Reconciler Company. Click the link again to listen up. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Happy Mother's Day once again. Have a blessed evening. Bye bye.